Hey, you. Welcome back to the Beit Till You See It podcast. I'm so happy you're here. I'm just having the biggest blast talking to guests for you. And also, gosh, I just really, really love the takeaways that you're sharing and your heartfelt messages about how a different episode guest or something we said really resonated with you. What I think you're going to love and hear in this podcast with Marcia Agius is, things like there's divine appointments. Erica Quest, one of our guests, talked about that before as well. So I was nominated by Amy for Marcia's thing. And then she reached out to me, and then she heard about me through Jenny Barneveld Pay, who is a guest of ours. And so I just kept coming up in her circle, in her life. Right. And she had been wanting to get strong and do Pilates. And there's a lot that we align with. We love celebrating, and we are really huge believers in community connection and prioritizing yourself. And so we do it in different ways. I do it with OPC, and she does it with her Inspire Always community and spreading kindness. And I wanted to bring her on because she isn't necessarily yet someone that you may have heard of on many other podcasts, but she last year started this mission to shine a light on women, and she didn't have an idea of what it was going to be yet. And she took this messy action. And I wanted to have that. I wanted you to hear that from someone. I wanted you to hear someone who's in it, who just started something and is organically growing it, because I think it's really easy to get hung up that we have to know the end goal before we can get started at something. And I think you're going to hear so much possibility in not knowing the end goal and just doing what you know and what's possible and learning every day. And I couldn't stop smiling. If you watch this on YouTube, I can't stop smiling. She is so passionate about the people in her community and what she does. And so enjoy this podcast. Enjoy hearing someone who is in the messy middle, messy beginning, rocking it out and really in it for the community. And I can't wait to hear what your takeaways are. Oh my gosh, wait till you get to the Be It action items. Literally number one. Woo, I'm gonna have to fight Brad on that one when we do the takeaways, because it is epic. It's so good. So take a listen to Marcia Agius after this quick message. Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started. All right. Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast. I have Marcia as my guest today, and I didn't even ask you how to say your last name. So you'll say that in the thing. This is really taking messy action. Okay, y'all. So you'll remember Amy Ladine. She was on our podcast. This episode 3, and I think 3. She might have been 5. I think she was 5. And she told Marcia about me, and that's how we met. We're going to talk about how we met in a little bit, but we are an Instagram friendship that is just blossomed, and we're actually seeing each other's face for the first time, I feel like, and I'm really excited. You called me and told me about your project. I'm like, this is amazing. I have to have this on my podcast. And so Marcia, will you please introduce yourself, tell everyone who you are, what you're rocking right now, and where you're from?
Okay. Hi, Lesley. Honestly, I am so thrilled to meet you actually face to face, even though we've talked before. My name is Marcia Agius. I'm from just north of Toronto in Canada. And I recently started an Instagram page called Inspire Always. And this is where actually I met you and featured Amy. And this Instagram account came about just through by chance of, I turned 50 last year, and I decided to get into the best shape of my life and joined an amazing group of women, Team Strong Girls, where actually, funny
Jenny.
enough, that's Jenny, of course, and I heard you on her podcast as well. So all things coming full circle. I've always wanted to do Pilates. And I love strength training. So I felt like I couldn't do both, but honestly, you just popped into my life. And so in so many levels, everything seems to be organically working out perfectly.
That's right. That's right. Jenny's episode. By the time people hear this, her episode will have been out already. But she had met hers. I met her through Amy. It's really funny how the universe works. It makes it really small. But it's kind of like when the universe is like, oh, you want to do something? Like, here's a little drop of someone. Oh, and then wait, then the person's over here. It's making sure we're getting to know each other.
It really is a bit crazy, and it's all in alignment because you came at the right time too, where I've always wanted to do Pilates, but I'm working right now on a major workout program, and I'm actually doing another photo shoot with Jenny. So it's exciting, and I'm squeezing in your 100 with me challenge, and I think it's amazing. I just love it. I purchased your cards, and I'm giving myself that grace that you've given me, that you don't have to be perfect. I do a card every day. It's not a lot. It's starting out, but
oh my God, that makes me so happy because when I made those, I was like, I really hope people use them. We're going to go into I think it's probably very similar. Like I was like, okay, we have to order 1,000. Do I even know 100 people who will buy these things? Like probably, let's talk about, it's probably similar to when you started this Instagram. Most people start an Instagram account about themselves, which that's me. But you're like, I'm going to start an Instagram account that shines a light on inspiring women. And so when did that come from your 50th birthday as well? Like what made you go, let me do this right now?
So I'm a mom of 3 children. I stayed at home with my 3 kids, blessed enough to be able to stay at home with them. And I just kind of thought I was just a mom until I will never say that again because that is such a bad way of thinking. But I just kind of thought that that's what I did. And so when I was about to turn 50, I thought, you know what? It's time to give to myself. And so I joined Team Strong Girls. I took a photo shoot and got into the best shape of my life. And for the first time, I took care of myself and I gave to myself. And I realized that's when I had so much more to give to others. And so one of the messages that Jenny always talks about is to aspire to inspire. And so she basically said to, get out there and inspire people. And that was so uncomfortable for me to share those images of my photos because, again, I was taught by my mom, like to be very kind, but to be humble. And so in my mind, that was kind of like I was showing off. But really, truly, I didn't realize that I had kind of inspired people. And that made me want to delve into it more. And basically, I thought, I love this feeling of celebrating. And I just thought 2020 was a shit show and everything you read in the news was bad. I decided I wanted a place where we could do this. For me, it was about community. It was about, connection. And like I got to talk to you, I talk to every person that comes on the page. It's about connection and celebration. I think that we all need to be celebrated. Yeah. And so that's how Inspire always started.
I mean, okay. I swear, y'all, this is not planned. I had no idea what my guests are going to say, but if people who listen, they know that I'm 100% about you must celebrate yourself. That way you can celebrate. You must prioritize yourself so you can give to others. And you just said it earlier. You said, when I prioritize myself, then I could help others more. Like I could do more for others. And I think that is so true because we have the energy and there's a confidence that comes to it. And it's freeing, but I understand that I think a lot of people, especially women, were raised like, be humble and like, don't show off too much. Like, you don't want your light to like be too bright for somebody else. But really, when your light is bright and shining, you actually help others. Like you attract others to that. And then they are like, oh my God, I want that too. Like it really is different. And so y'all, if you haven't checked out this Instagram page, literally, is it every day that you post a different woman? You shine a light on someone else?
It's literally, when I started this project, again, a passion project, I thought, you know what? I know so many amazing women. I'm going to feature them. I'm going to feature them once a week, and that would be fun. And so, again, my grown kids basically said to me, Mom, when you're starting something new, maybe you should do it every day for the first little while. So I thought, okay, first couple weeks I'll do it. since I've started, I feature someone every day, Monday to Friday. And so the community is growing. People nominate other people. It literally brings me such joy. I'm so excited to celebrate this person. They're excited to be celebrated. And just it's a ripple effect, because then they nominate other people and they're excited. And
it is,
honestly, my heart is so full.
It really is so cool. So, and I'm someone who like doesn't consume a lot of stuff. I don't scroll very much, but because I follow your account, I think on all of my accounts, each woman comes up and I read it and I'm like, I love the quote. I love hearing what they say. Yeah. Anytime it comes up, I'm like, oh my God. And in fact, there was one woman, I'm like, this woman is amazing. And I've reached out to her and I'm like, you're really awesome. I want you on my podcast.
Oh my gosh. See, and I didn't even realize when I started I'm connecting other people. So it really is about the connection and the community. And I love that. That actually just made my day. I love that.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, and that's just it. Like everything that I do, including there's this one project that I'm putting together and it's all about elevating connection, and confidence and community. And when with OPC, it's all about giving yourself 100%, celebrating that so you can connect more with others, to be part of this community. And our community supports everybody. You've seen it as you're in that group. But I want to go back to, so you wanted to start this thing. You're like, we need good news in the world. We need something to inspire. I'm going to do it every day. Was it difficult to start something that you didn't know what the end result is? Because I think a lot of people have a hard time starting something where they know where they want to go, but they're unsure how to take the next first step. You kind of were like, I don't know what this is going to be, but I'm going to take a step. Like how did you get your brain to go, yeah, let me do this thing?
Honestly, I think that everything for me is just starting something new. To be out on social media was totally new to me, and it was a learning game. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. And you're right, I really had no end goal. It's actually evolving organically again, funny enough, to something more. So my core values is giving, and I've actually started with this Inspire Always community, giving back. And so my message always is, in this world, there's so much judgment. We need more kindness. And so I literally went out and bought Spread Kindness t-shirts and raised money for a woman that started a charity on my page. So it's just a full circle. Like it's absolutely been crazy. And we're raising another wish through these t-shirts, with a Spread Kindness t-shirt for another girl that was actually featured on my page. So
that's really cool. So not that you need more ideas, but I'm an ideas machine. And there is a woman we had on the podcast, Renee Dick, and she started off with like just making a t-shirt a month, and like had a community, and like you paid to be part of the community, you got the t-shirt. And so, because then everyone's like wearing like the, girl boss t-shirt, or like, community over competition, whatever the t-shirt is of the month. And they get the shirt, and then they are in this community. And I don't know, I would say dive in, think about that, because it could be, maybe it's not a monthly thing, but maybe there's like a seasonal shirt that people can buy that contributes to a charity, and then they're all part of a community because they bought it or something like that. Like, I think there's something there for you, and being able to give back and inspire others, and be inspired by the people that come through your that people nominate. It's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. I actually been thinking more about what I want to do. It's something similar. It's, again, to create a community of not just buying things, but to doing things. I think giving back is there are threefold. There's treasure, there's time, there's talent. And so I think it's not always easy, and people are busy. And so because I'm blessed enough to have that time, I think I'm able to say, hey, this is something that you can do. Come join me. And so it's a feel good.
I think that's amazing. And can you go over that again? So you called it treasure, time. What were the three things when it comes to the community?
Treasure, time, and talent. So it's just not when you say you're giving, people can't always give money, and they can't, but people inherently are good. They're inherently good. They want to do good things. And so, because I'm good at that, and I can claim that now, because before I would have said, but I'm good at giving, that I can help people with that. And so just like with Team Strong Girls, I wanted to be part of that team, and I didn't know how. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a fitness coach, but I came to Jenny. I had a relationship with Make-A-Wish, and I said to Jenny, "Hey, Jenny, what do you think about doing a give back?" And so she loved it, and she's always wanted to do that. She just hasn't had the time, and so we paired up and we raised money for Make-A-Wish, and we were the number one team on a Trailblaze Wish in Canada. So we raised $35,000 with Team Strong Girls and I.
That's
and
amazing.
So yeah.
So just so you all know, in case you haven't heard the podcast with Jenny yet, she is the president of Strong Fitness Magazine, and she also has this thing, this group called Team Strong Girls, and they help women get into the best shape that they want, and then they do a photo shoot afterwards, which is like all about just like showing you off. And like I think a lot of women don't take a lot of pictures of themselves unless like a selfie or like they're with a group of friends. And this is like by yourself, showing off how awesome you are, how hard you've worked. It is, to me, it's not like a before and after thing. It's more of like, this is like your true essence coming out and shining bright with this confidence. And it's really fun. And so I really love that she does that. It's a pretty cool thing. And so you've done that. And so you put together, you're like, hey, how do we add this? That is a really cool thing that you can do, because I think you're correct. Like, a lot of people think giving, they have to have money to give. And you can actually, you can be giving back by giving time, or you can be the keynote speaker for free at an event that they sell tickets to raise money for a charity. So I think it's really, it's more fun to actually get really creative. It's like, what can I do for this charity over here or this community over here? It doesn't have to be money. It can be, but it also can be your time or your talent. I think that's really cool. So you guys were you ladies were the number one for Trailblazers in Canada. That's insane.
Yeah.
That is a talent you have.
And so it was a strength because, like I said, my husband and I were talking about it. It was great. And I basically was able to bring my two worlds together. My world of I love giving and Team Strong Girls, and we made something happen. And so
let's just talk about that, because this is a talent of yours. If someone's listening to this and they are wanting to, maybe there's a charity on their heart and they're wanting to do something, what are your tips for them getting a group of people together to help raise money? Like, what are some things they need to consider to make that happen? Because $35,000 is not a little bit of money. It's a lot of money. What are some things people should consider when they're trying to give back to a charity that they like?
Well, first of all, usually when you find a charity, it will be close to your heart, and there will be strings to that heart thing. So again, depending on what the event is and what you want to do, you just have to rally people around that charity, and also around doing it together.
Yeah. That's the, like, you have to get people to the rally part. I think is where a lot of people get hung up. I think they're afraid to ask. They don't want to be imposed. So, that's, that it can be the trickier part. How do we get women over like feeling like they're imposing by asking people to support something that they care about?
So here's the thing that I've learned. I'm very much not wanting to ask for myself, but usually when it's a charity, I'm okay to ask because it's not for me. And so a lot of times people have lots of charities to give to, and it's so hard to give to just one. Mm-hmm. So people get to choose. And so basically some people, it will resonate with them and they will want to do it, and some people won't, and that's okay. And so I think the whole point is you try to do the best that you can do.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, in terms of giving too, my message is always to spread kindness. And so that doesn't have to necessarily mean, again, money. Like it could be, so my whole point of it was that if I can take all the followers, as my followers grow, and it's getting bigger every day, and every single person could, this is my message, say, every single person can do something kind to someone else. It doesn't have to be money. It could be holding the door. That's like, right now I have 1,600 followers. If 1,600 followers could do one nice thing, one nice thing, it doesn't matter, then it's a ripple effect.
That's 1,300. That's 3,200 people that got something nice. Yeah. I have to say, so at the time we're recording this yesterday in real time, I missed a flight, which I've never missed a flight in my entire life. Like, ever have I missed a flight. I've always, I mean, there was one time, if you've ever flown through Heathrow, I was dropped off at a different terminal, had to take a bus to another terminal. I had 15 minutes from when that bus got there for boarding to close, and I had to go through security, and I had to run. There was like a sign that's like 20 minutes walking to get to the gate that I was supposed to be at. And I was like, I am making this flight. I am not missing a 12-hour flight to the States, right? And I'm not spending the night at Heathrow. So I've never missed a flight. I missed a flight. The person was awful to me, treated me like I was an idiot. It's just like, it's not like, yeah, I missed a flight. No, you can't call the plane back, but you can at least like look me in the eye and go, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Here's your next steps. Not hard. This is not hard. Just like, so of course I feel like an idiot already. I ran around this airport trying to find this gate, and I go to the bathroom. I'm on the phone with my husband. I'm crying, and the call drops, and I'm just standing there trying to like wash my hands. And this little girl goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, I'm going to be okay. I just missed a flight. Thank you so much for asking. She's like, "Do you want a hug?" And I was like, I know. I was like, actually, yeah, I would love a hug right now. Actually, I would really love a hug right now. And she gave me a real hug. It took her less than 1 minute of her life to look me in the eye, see me, ask me if I was okay, and hug me. And I thought, wow, I need to make sure I do that for someone else today. Like, I need to spread that forward. And it's just like that. So I love what you're doing, because it's like, just spread kindness. It doesn't have to be money. It can be something as simple as seeing someone is having a problem and like just acknowledging she can't solve the problem. She cannot get me on a plane. She's a little girl, but like that's still like, first of all, her mom is amazing. Second of all, like she really touched my soul. And so I do think that we sometimes feel hopeless and helpless, but it doesn't have to be money. It doesn't even have to be time. It can just be like as simple as like seeing someone's having an issue and like supporting them during that moment really quickly. So I really love this mission you're on.
Absolutely.
And I love that it's organic. So we at this time, we have no idea what's next. What are you working on right now with it?
Honestly, like I said, I have another project. There's two of the strong girls. They're teachers at a school, and they have a group of young women that it's so cute. They're called the Riveters, just like Rosie the Riveter. And they're like, so do I. I think it's amazing. And they are, again, changing the way young people are thinking. They're doing things. And they are on a spread kindness mission this month. And they're using the t-shirts to raise the money for that girl, again, in their school that's on my page. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, that's the thing right now. But honestly, I think my mission is to set it up so that people can be part of the community in Spiral Always, and they can do things to give. And again, like I said, it doesn't have to be money. It can be, again, through time, through talent, through spreading kindness, and just making the world a better place. I tell my husband and my children all the time, if I can make this world a little bit of a brighter place, then I'm doing a great job.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I think there's a lot of people listening to this who would be like, how do you have time? You have 3 children. You are prioritizing your health because you're working out, and then you start this project, and it's not easy. You're making a phone call to every single person before you have them on the page. That takes a lot of time. How could we tell other women who are busy, who have children, like to start something new? Like, what was something you had to change in your day to make time for this? Or was it simple because you were inspired by it, so you made the time? Like, what was the ability to make this happen?
So definitely the inspiration gives me that ability. But the truth is my children are a little older now, so I actually do have time. And so, I do have the time. And I'm blessed enough, and I'm grateful every day. And that's the thing. I truly am grateful for everything I have. And I just want to, because I'm in this overflow of abundance, I have so much. I just feel like I have so much more to give. Yeah.
So I think like a lot of people want to give more, not even like money. They want to give with time, or they want to give with energy. But they get hung up on where to start. And you talked about with what you're passionate about, like rally around something that like pulls on your heartstrings. Where, like, was that something that was easy for you because it always has been? Or is that something that kind of came out of like once you started working out and prioritizing yourself, you started to like, do you know what I mean? Like, is it something that's always been there? Or do you think that people, when they start to take care of themselves, will have more of an opportunity to see it in others? Like, I hope my question's making sense.
Well, I think for me, my giving started at a very young age. I think my parents taught me, um, they modeled giving to me as like giving without receiving anything. So I think that was always within me. In 2010, my husband got diagnosed with cancer and he is totally fine now. But my daughter at the time was making bracelets. So we said, let's make some bracelets. And she was going to sell them to family and friends. And we were going to raise money to the hospital here in Sunnybrook in Canada. And so we started doing that. But as a hockey mom, I thought, oh, we could do this bigger. And so we had done like galas, right, for 5 years. We raised over $100,000 for Sunnybrook. And so I think that was the start of it. Like it meant something to us. So that's why we did it. So that was the one project. Then I got involved with Make-A-Wish. And again, it's pulled up my heartstrings. So I started doing that. So these projects kind of came to me and I just kind of found a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It does. And I think what I hear from this is like something happened that nobody wants cancer to touch their family, right? But instead of the focus being on like that, why is this happening? It's like, how do we make it better? And I think that is actually something that many women can start with, because there's a lot, like maybe they have a kid that's getting sick, or their kid is struggling in school, or somebody lost a job. And it's like, how do you take what's happening, what feels like it's happening to you, and twist it and turn it and make it better, because you're not the only one that's happening to. And if you could take what happened in your family and use it to give back to other families that are going through it, sounds really cool. So I think a lot of people could, within their own lives, look around and go, why, like, what is really bothering me? What is this upsetting? Like how do I use this so that other people can benefit from it too? And that's such a cool thing that that's a talent that you have. But I think that a lot of people listening to this can absolutely emulate in a way. So that's cool.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. So, okay. So you show off, you shine a light on a woman Monday through Friday on this Instagram page, and it's growing to this amazing community. It's 1,600 followers. By the way, y'all, just so you know, it is really hard to grow a follower count in the last 3 years. Like basically starting in 2020, they said like less than 3% of Instagram accounts are growing. And you have,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it's huge. So if you're listening to this, my account doesn't grow, you're not alone. It's not growing, but yours is 1,600 organic followers that you're inspiring to spread kindness to. That is huge. This is not easy to do. So I'm wondering what is it that you're wanting to, with the Spread Kindness and this group, what are you hoping to take into with 2022 coming up? Are you going to keep going with 5 days a week? Are you going to keep doing the calls? Like how are you wanting to continue to grow this? And what kind of women are you looking to shine a light on? Is there a specific thing that you're wanting to have in there?
and that's the thing. I think that there's no specific, this is just coming from the pure joy of doing it. And so here's the thing. I have amazing rock star women on my page. I have women that don't even feel like they deserve to be on the page. It takes me months for them to convince them to be on the page. But here's the thing. I think that we all need to be celebrated no matter what we do. I think that everyone has a story.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of it all. I think that we all have such diverse and different stories, and we're all so different, but yet we're all the same. We want the same thing, that we want that connection, that community, that celebration. And so, I don't have a specific woman. I just, when I see someone like you that, I think you'd be great. This is new to me, that I reach out to them on Instagram and go, hi, I'd love to highlight you. But most of the time it's just organically that people that are on the page nominate other amazing women. So, and that's how it's really just growing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I actually, I think it is. And I think a lot of people listen to like, you have to ask people and you have to get them to like, they have to think about being on the page. Like so many people like, yes, I'd love to be a spotlight, but it is true. So many women they think that they have to be something, who knows what that bar is to be shine, like a light shined on them. But the stories, they learn so much from so many, like from learning from others is just really important for how we grow. Like you, I have to say, even though you're like, I'm just giving it a try. I'm trying this and I'm going through this. Like, it is inspiring to me because, and I hope it's inspiring to the person listening right now, because the reality is like, sometimes we think it has to be so perfect. Like, we have to know all the things, all the different stuff. And you don't have to know anything. You just have to know, this is what I want to work on right now. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I'm excited about. Oh, look it, we can spread kindness. Let's get shirts. Like, there's something about that that's very freeing, and 100% what this podcast is about and what I'm all about with everything that I do. And so I love it. I love your passion for it. I love that there's not a lot of rules around it. And I think that it can literally let any woman listening to this go, you know, I don't actually need to know anything, but that I really like this and I want to help these people out. And that's cool. That's enough. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. That actually just that just made me feel so amazing, because I really do not have a real plan, and so I'm just going with the flow. I'm having a good time, and I genuinely love it. Like, every morning, my heart is bursting for that woman, and so I think it's great.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Okay, what we're going to do right now, because everyone's like, okay, what's his Instagram? How do we like learn about these women? How do we spread kindness? All right. What is this Instagram account again, and how can people be part of your mission on this planet?
So Instagram account is _inspire always. I actually have just started I'm getting a web page developed. Ooh. So it'll be inspirealways.ca.
Perfect. Great. We'll put those in the show notes, and everyone, please give them a follow. Check out all these amazing women. Also, like, if somebody resonates with you, I highly recommend you comment on their post, because these women are not necessarily, this is not like, you know, Chelsea Handler stuff. Like, I love her. She inspires me sometimes too. But like, this is like a woman in Canada and a woman in Florida. And then my friend Joanna in LA, like, just amazing people that you might
Monica's coming up.
Oh, Monica. Everyone loves Monica. She's amazing. But like, these are amazing women who, I promise, if you comment on their post and you tag them, they're going to see that and they're going to be celebrated, and they're going to make them smile, and you might make a new friend out of it, which is really cool. Okay. So I ask every guest this, because I think every woman has a different way of viewing this, but what are your tips for prioritizing yourself? So something bold or executable, intrinsic or targeted steps that people could do either right now or they could work their way up to, that helps them be it till they see it.
I think for me, there's 3 things that I've learned through my journey is step outside your comfort zone. Like, my quote is, step so far out your comfort zone, you forget how to get back. And so I do everything now. If it excites me a little bit and I'm afraid, I'm going to do it. And so I'm taking on all these new projects. And then the second one would be, I'm learning every day, and I'm learning new things. At the same time, I'm learning all the old things that I've learned that no longer serve me. And then the third thing is, and this is the most important, I think, is that I'm learning to be unapologetically authentic. I am me. And one of my favorite strengths that one of the women on my page had was, my strength is no one is me. Yeah. And I thought that was really powerful, because it's true. We all think that we're less sometimes, or we're not enough, or look at that person, they're doing this. But we are all doing something, and we are all something. And so we should all be, again, celebrated.
Oh, those are so great. I could dive into a whole another episode with each one of those. They're beautiful. And I have to say, I love the unlearning. I think that's tough. That's the tough thing.
It is tough.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
No, I think that the biggest compliment that not biggest, but one of the biggest compliments that I've gotten from my daughter for being her mom was that she said, "Mom, I love how you're always learning." She said, "You're not just, you're the mom and you know it all, you're learning." And so honestly, I think I've learned more in the last year than I have at any other time. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that is amazing. You need to make that a shirt. Step so far outside your comfort zone, you can't get back. Like, that's amazing. That's so, oh, these are so great. I can't wait to dive in to these with Brad. You are so inspiring. Thank you so much for being on here. And also, like, I know, I know when we talked offline, like, this is like, oh my God, I'm doing this, but it's like, I really love what you're doing. And I wanted every listener that we have to hear that you don't need to have all of the I's dotted, T's crossed. You don't have to know what it's going to be. You just have to know what you want to do and just take that messy action to do it. And it's grown so fast and so authentically, and it's allowing you to do what you're so passionate about and explore that. And so thanks for coming on and sharing that, because it's giving permission to so many people to just do that. Just take on what they're passionate about. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking time to be here.
I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. I love all your messages. I think you're amazing. And I am so grateful to have met you.
Same. Everyone, thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. You would be like so kind. And it's also like, talk about spreading kindness. Here's the deal. When you share this episode in a text message, on your stories, on Facebook, it actually helps this podcast get into the ears of other women. So you couldn't, like, that's like the best currency you could ever do for this podcast. But also, if there's a woman in your life that you're like, she needs to hear this, the best way for her to hear it is for you to send that link and tell her why she should listen to this podcast. And it helps us grow. So please do that. And make sure when you share it that you tag Inspire Always, use the underscore at the beginning, and the Be It Pod, so that we can celebrate you back and also hear what your takeaways are. It really does bring us so much joy. I promise you it'll bring Marcia and myself like a big smile to our face to know that this brought you so much light and love. Until next time, be it till you see it. That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day. Be It Till You See It is a production of As the Crows Fly Media.
It's written, produced, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell. Our associate producer is Amanda Fraterelli.
Kevin Perez at Diseño handles all of our audio editing.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to our designer, Jaira Mandal, for creating all of our visuals, which you can't see because this is a podcast, and our digital producer, Jay Pedroso, for editing all the video each week so you can.
And to Angelina Herrico for transcribing each of our episodes so you can find them on our website. And finally, to Meredith Crowell for keeping us all on point and on time.